Скъпи читатели на Ние чуваме, намирам се в Европейския парламент в Брюксел, като за нас е удоволствие да присъстваме на международна конференция във връзка с мултилингвализма, равните права в Европейския съюз и ролята на жестовите езици. До мен в момента е госпожа Хелга Стивенс, домакиня тази конференция и член на Европейския парламент. Настоящото интервю ще ни запознае с нейната дейност и всичко това, което е полезно за хората с увреден слух, тъй като госпожа Хелга Стивенс също е депутат с увреден слух. Miss Stevens, it's our great pleasure to meet with you in your capacity as a member of European Parliament. You are at European Parliament. Moreover, it is your deaf person and user of sign language. What are your aims and objectives like a member of European Parliament?
Okay, my aims in the European Parliament is that I want things change positively. That means concrete for deaf people, recognition of sign language. There is recognition in many member states, but if you see in practice, there is a lot of job that need to be done. For example, in education, the status of sign language is not good in several member states, and in some countries it's okay, but I want to promote and to push them in the back so that it's better. Also, the situation for interpreters isn't good in every country, so deaf people need interpreters, sign language interpreters, to get work, to be part of cultural events, etc. There are also other teams like justice, security, immigration, etc. But because I'm a deaf MEP, I'm focusing on deaf people with a disability.
What is your expectation of this conference?
This conference is to make people aware of deaf people, of sign language, because everyone speaks about multilingual diversity. That's very nice, I agree, but what does it mean? Most people focus on spoken languages, the diversity of spoken languages, but there is also a diversity of sign languages and more multilingualism. So if you speak of multilingualism, it means either spoken languages, but also sign languages. And that's very important for me. If this awareness can be achieved, that's a big step forward.
What result you will say after discussion of multilingualism? What result you will like after discussion of multilingualism?
Of course, I know that tonight or tomorrow we'll have results. The aim of this conference is to get a first start within the European Parliament, the European Commission, but also to the national governments. We don't have the power to the national governments, but all the deaf people will be here and will use sign language interpreter, and I hope through the conference I give the deaf community ammunition so they can lobby in their own country. If you see the situation of interpreters in Slovakia, they earn €2.46 per hour. So in some countries they earn a lot, in other countries they are paid very badly. So in some countries the program for sign language interpreters is very good, in others not. So that we want to achieve, that it's getting better in all EU member states.
Thank you. What is adopted in the European Parliament proposal of the Committee on Culture and Education for removing of audiovisual media service from European Accessibility Act?
About the European accessibility law, the discussion isn't finished yet. Now we are voting that in the Commission of Culture, and I'm also in that commission. I protested because it was not, media wasn't included, so, and I think that's not right. You have to be reasonable. You imagine you have a European accessibility law. If everything is arranged there, you don't have to do anything for audiovisual stuff, but it's necessary to have them both, because otherwise we have a risk that there will be a hole, that we will miss something. So that's why I was a little bit furious, but it's necessary to lobby and to convince people that they have to do it.
Equal rights in European Union are still illegal because in many countries, including Bulgaria, sign language has not yet been legally adopted. What's your recommendation in this regard to make this ideal a reality?
Yeah, deaf people has to keep on lobbying to the government. Also, the Bulgarian Deaf Federation has to plan contacts with the government and ask that their sign language is recognized. You can use what has happened in other countries, like Hungarian, Slovakian, their neighbor countries. They recognize sign language as well, so you can use what they did in your own country to get your recognition. The European Union of the Deaf is one organization who can help you. They made a publication about sign language in different member states and all the laws that are involved for the recognition of sign language. But it is your deaf organization who has to take initiative.
What task and responsibility now stand in European Parliament on sign language?
That's a very good question. The European Parliament has no power. Like I said before, we can't force member states to do anything. The only thing we can do is recommendations. If in Europe we speak of free traffic for persons, that's including people with a disability. So that means also deaf people. If you speak of free movement into Europe, if you're in Belgium and you want to go to Bulgaria and you want to work there, the situation in Belgium is good. So I expect if I go to Bulgaria and work there that I have the same conditions, but it's not that. So if you make the comparison with hearing people, a hearing person can work in Bulgaria and will have no obstacles, but deaf people do. So on that matter, Europe can try to see if there are barriers to solve them, help to solve them, and then we can do an action. So I understand it's very complicated because national governments has their autonomy and they don't want involvement of Europe, but we have to work together to achieve it.
Thank you. What are the latest and best practice and experience in the field of sign language in Europe and worldwide?
Oh, yeah, I think there is no country which is the best. There are a lot of member states who are doing well on several domains. For example, Sweden, England, Belgium. But it's depending on the situation. Providing interpreting in Sweden in education is very well. Students who are following courses with hearing students in England is done very well. So in every member state it's something different that's very good.
Thank you very much for your answers. And when I attention, and now we hope in European Parliament. So,
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for coming here. You're welcome. I'm happy to attend you here in my conference. Very happy.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.